two, three.
Let's go. I love to see the temple. I'm going there someday to feel the Holy Spirit, to listen and to pray.
It is time for another episode of the Cultural Hall. It is not an Articles of News episode. It is not an interview episode. It is, as you could tell by the music that played us in, a temple ticker episode. The Pharaoh himself, he just was out burning the last little bit of the K-cows, getting the steps in. We are able to do this. He's got the handsome, he's doing the Superman curl up on the front. I don't know if that's a tribute to Superman, but... I don't know if that's actually what the current Superman does. Does the current Superman, have you seen the movie? Does he have that?
No, I can't tell you.
Okay, I don't know either. I haven't seen it. But old school, that guy, the original Superman, he's rocking that. How are you, Corey K.
Doing
Ward?
well. Doing well. Do you
Now
know
I'm
what
excited.
the K means? Do you know what the K means?
Corey K. Ward, it means K-Cal. That's what the K stands for.
Kent. So I'm Corey Kent.
Oh, see,
Really
so
close
basically,
to...
he's basically
There you
the
go,
Cultural Hall's
basically.
own Superman. It's been a minute since we've talked. You mentioned that you had a surprise for me. Is the surprise coming in the episode? Does it come now? When do we
Well,
get
right
the
now.
surprise?
Well, I was just listening to your episode that you just released like an hour ago.
Okay.
And look what I have.
You have a Benedict socks.
There we go.
What's the story behind the Benedict socks? I have never seen these before, but I guess with she and Temu, we can do it now.
Well, I guess free advertising now. There's a website called bombsocks.com.
Okay.
And just one Christmas, my mom bought me a ton of these. So
Now, when you say
one of
that
them
your
was a
mom bought
Benedict.
you a ton, you know that the next question, obviously, that follows is, you've got a Benedict. What else do you have on socks?
I have a Noah's Ark.
Okay.
I have a Jonah and the Whale.
Is that like two of everything in a boat? Is that what the okay?
That's right.
And then Jonah and the Whale. Do you
Jonah and the
see?
Whale.
Is it like X-ray? You see the guy on the inside of Jonah, and that's how you know it's Jonah and the Whale, or is it like I'm Jonah, I'm the whale?
There you go.
Okay.
And then I got a Mexican symbol socks to rep my mission.
Okay.
So yeah,
Cool.
maybe they can become a sponsor for the Cultural Hall.
I think that they should. Bomb socks.
They have, what's really cool is I haven't got them yet, but I've been wanting them. They have socks that are in the floral design of the couches in the foyer.
I've seen those. That's bomb socks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And it's BOM, like how we used to say the Book of Mormon is the bomb, right? Bomb
that's
socks.
right. Yep. Uh-huh.
Well, okay. Now I've gone down the rabbit hole. There is the ones that have the floral pattern of the couches are it says visitors welcome on the top of them.
That's right.
And they're oh geez. This is so let me flash back about a decade or so ago. There was a company called Pillow Tie. They've
Uh-huh.
they're now defunct, I'm sure, but the idea
Oh,
was there was a little inflatable pillow in your tie, and you could blow it up and use it, and then you wouldn't get the marks in your forehead when you were sleeping on the foyer in front of you. I actually became a spokesperson for Pillow Tie on the radio, like on not on the show here, like on a radio station that I was working on. I was the person about the Pillow Tie.
Good for you. I do
thought
have
it was
one of
great.
those.
I thought it was great. A little bit niche-y, a little, it's hard to sell everyone on something like that, and then went away. But bomb socks, they are, first of all, buy three, get one free. Second of all, they are socks with a mission. And then third of all, there are all sorts of different things. Like you can march with Stripling Warriors Tiancum, pray with Moroni, sling stones with David, and seek truth like Esther. That's just some of the socks. Hold on. Cultural favorites. Now I'm clicking. We're here now. You can get Think Celestial. Okay. Stand in Holy Places. That's the carpet. I like that. The green hymn books. Not as clever necessarily. They have a donut that says Nourish and Strengthen. That could very well be the official sock of the Cultural Hall. CTRs. What does this one say? Oh, that's pretty funny, bomb socks. says "Beware the scratchy wall," and it looks like the wall of a church. It has like the wood strip, and then the texture it looks like of the scratchy wall.
I
Uh,
like it.
yeah, there's all sorts of things. Jesus loves you socks, faith, hope, charity and love, virtue. Oh no, charity. I just trying to be like Jesus. That's what those socks are called. Amazing Grace, the new hymn. I love seminary socks. Okay, so some of them are clever and some of them are a little on the nose. Uh, let's see here. I want to click one more. Scripture heroes. I just want to look here. Likely we'll see this. Oh yeah, you've got the Samuels. That's Samuel up on the top and all the arrows and stuff shooting at him. Nephi's broken bow. You can get those. Daniel in the lion's den. The Ammons slinging some arms there. Let's see here. King Benjamin's address. Why don't they have shiz socks? That's
What would you put on that?
it's just a headless person. Why don't you have shiz socks? Writing that down. That might
You
be
could have
this
Korhor being
episode.
trampled.
Yeah,
That would be a
see,
good
yeah,
one.
let's get some of
Yeah.
the let's get some of those
Get some
in
of the
there.
anti-heroes on
Yeah, the
there.
anti-heroes. Oh, that's stupid. I love it. I love every bit of that. Knew the Caleb's give me this mountain. Okay. All right. All right, bomb socks. Well, Abinadi socks, Nephi socks, I have none. Let's talk temples of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, shall we? Temple 207. 207.
Yeah, the Antofagasta Chile Temple was dedicated on June 15th. Elder Stevenson was there to do that dedication. So this is the third house of the Lord. You know what they're always saying now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of temple, no, the right way to say is house of the Lord. Third house of the Lord in Chile. Also, something that was a theme of the dedication is that South America is kind of celebrating its, I think it's 100-year kind of anniversary of kind of the first church members there
Mm-hmm.
in South America. So that was one thing. They talk about like a prophecy that one of the apostles gave about South America that it would grow like an oak tree, starting out small and then spreading everywhere and spreading um, those oaks, those not no, uh, those oaks around
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
continent. And now it's in the deserts of Chile, northern Chile.
Well, way to go, Antofagasta, 207. Interesting to me, the House of the Lord transition. I know we've spoken about it before. I don't know what we call this segment if we move in a hard way to House of the Lords.
I mean, it's a really big push with Elder Bednar. So maybe when he's
The prophet.
in the first presidency, maybe there'll be some like push to say we're not temples anymore. They're not
Yeah.
temples anymore.
Yeah, but Temple
Perhaps.
Ticker sounds so great. House of the Lords, we're gonna have to really workshop whatever that is.
I know he's a listener, so
Yeah, Elder Bednar, soon to be at some point. Prophet President Bednar, help us out. Make it something that can be easily named and adjusted to. And then could we be Mormons in the house of the Lord, or are we still members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in the house of the Lord? Where does he fall there? I don't know. I don't know where he falls in that discussion.
good
Uh,
point.
is Farmington, New Mexico 208 or probably not?
I believe so. It will
Okay,
be.
because the
Although there
open
was
house
a
is going on there now.
yes. Yes, it will be 208. Although there was a local news story that said it would be the 207th temple. So obviously they didn't fact check that.
If
Probably
I look
because this temple hadn't been dedicated yet.
if I
But
look in the comment section, am I going to see a comment from you that's like, "Come on, get it together"?
get it together.
I had a friend who actually Tribe of Testimonies is a woman that I helped as she was starting out her podcast. She used to be in my ward. She went down to the media day down at the Farmington, New Mexico temple. If people don't know, this is largely surrounded by Native American lands. Farmington, New Mexico is. There are several reservations in and around this. This is kind of by the Four Corners area where Colorado and Arizona and Utah and New Mexico meet. So it serves that area. I think it's significant the involvement with the Native American people for this particular temple.
Certainly, yeah. This is there has already been, so like the Monticello, Utah temple is kind of close down there.
Sure.
The Snowflake, Arizona temple is also close by. But this brings it a little bit more closer to the Navajo reservation. Also, one of the stakes there just outside of um, Farmington is the Kirtland, New Mexico stake.
Hmm.
That's kind of a suburb of Farmington. So obviously, probably some members of the church settled that area,
Is
wanted
that what
to.
it's called, Kirtland?
I believe so.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
Fact
I'm
check
fact
me.
checking you right now.
So yeah, there's kind of three stakes in the area. There's also one up in Durango, Colorado. And then I guess we'll talk in the future about the Grand Junction Temple. So now there's kind of the four temples for the Four Corners area.
My quick search would tell me Kirtland, New Mexico is named after Kirtland, Ohio.
There you
Founded
go.
in the 1880s by Mormon settlers who were familiar with Kirtland, Ohio, couldn't come up with an original name for the town and decided to call it Kirtland.
Nice. Yeah, and the media day, the mayor of Farmington spoke. He highlighted just that the temple was a sign of a growing population and development for spiritual development for the people there. This is kind of unusual to have an open house start in July because this is when most of the general authorities are taking kind of the summer break. But I guess they got Elder Bangeter of the 70. He's kind of the one that in charge of the temple department to work some overtime, work on vacation. So hopefully he gets maybe a later vacation.
Extra blessings.
Did you know also the Pope takes off this month?
No,
He kind of has like a castle that he goes to during July, August and kind of
no.
tries to take it easy. Yeah, so
It's because it's so hot. It's been so hot here.
so hot.
Why
So yeah,
do religious leaders take July off? Keep going. Sorry, I'm going to find out if there's something to it.
So
Uh,
yeah, as you talked about
oh,
the
no, nope, nope, no,
nothing.
nothing. Sorry, I digress. Go ahead.
As you talked about, they heavily use Native American Navajo themes in this temple. Probably the most explicit I've seen in any temple. Um, the big thing that they used was the pine cone and then the globemallow flower. So you see those two things all around the temple. You also see feather patterns, the chevron, the diamond running patterns, geometric line work, stepped pyramid shapes. Probably the most explicit in the temple is the rug in the bride's room. You have this very unique blue and red, green flower just on the on the floor of the rug.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, probably one of the most beautiful. I would say in the top three bride rooms that I've ever seen. Honestly, this building. Um,
It's gorgeous flowers and gorgeous like stained glass and all this stuff. I'm kind of just poking around as you're chatting.
the chandelier looks like it's like covered in feathers as well, even though it's glass.
Hmm.
Beautiful glass work with those flowers in it as well. Those red flowers. Those are throughout the building. Also in the foyer, you have a nice like woven rug, it looks like, kind of in that chevron shape diamond there as well, hanging up. You also see stuff like that on the altars of the ceiling rooms, and then in the yeah, just throughout the celestial room and everywhere, as well as
Absolutely
on in the
gorgeous.
baptismal font has some nice designs as well.
Hmm. All right, Farmington, New Mexico, 208, dedicated. Who's dedicating that one in a couple weeks?
I believe it will be hold on. Is it Neil L. Anderson? Yes, it is. He'll be there on August 17th.
Okay, okay. So that's pretty quick. Media
Yeah.
day to opening up a month. It's probably one of the smaller ones that not going to be open all the time.
About 30,000 square feet.
Okay.
Maybe only like four stakes. So yeah, I wouldn't think it would be too busy.
Yeah.
But
Which takes us then to the temple groundbreakings. Bunch of these because they can just rattle these off. Hey, we're gonna pour some dirt on the other dirt, and then we're gonna do this. Although I did see that one of these groundbreakings actually looked as though it was breaking dirt. I'm not sure which one it was.
oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the first one was in Budapest, Hungary. It was June 21st. The president of the Europe Central Area, Rubén V. Alliaud, was there. Um, Obviously, this is the first in the country of Hungary, and kind of the first in this really area of Central Europe, kind of pushing on the Eastern Europe, behind the former Iron Curtain, as well. So that's significant. The only temple that is behind there is the Kiev temple.
Hmm.
So interesting to see another temple there. Um, Not like a
Assuming
super
that the
small.
Kiev temple is still there. Geez.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit scary there again.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Singapore?
Singapore also had a temple groundbreaking. Elder Carrie R. Kelly, not
Not
it's
R.
Kelly,
Kelly. Oh,
not R.
that's a whole different
Kelly.
person.
Elder Kelly R. Johnson of
Okay.
the Asia area presidency was there. Obviously, this is also the first temple in Singapore, which is a kind of a city-state, kind of surrounded by Malaysia. Um, this temple um, is replacing an old meeting house that's there. The church in Singapore has one stake, and I think maybe they have. I know most of the words there are English speaking, although there's a few that are Chinese speaking, and then they also have a YSA board, which is kind of unique for Asia as well. And I've seen some discrepancy on how big this temple is because it looks like one of those mini temples,
Uh-huh.
but I think the article says it's like 18,000 square feet. And so I'm
Geez.
kind of confused if that was bad information or if it's somehow like larger than it looks. But
Hmm.
behind the temple, they have like a large kind of patron housing building as well that's taller than the temple itself. So and it's one of these like no spire temples, kind of more of like a diamond shaped pyramid on the top.
Yeah. It's kind of cool though. I like it. And by the way,
Isn't it
you can
ironic
find the
that in a
links to all the things we're talking about in the show notes. Find links and pictures and be able to see all the things that we're talking about.
isn't it ironic that in a big city with a ton of tall buildings that the church opts for no spire?
Well, my guess, yeah, I've got to think anymore that we're a little spire shy.
Maybe,
I,
but
I like the design of the building. I think it's sort of short and stout
yeah.
and and classy. I like it. We don't need a. Oh, we don't. God doesn't care if the spire reaches above the other buildings. I asked him. I was kneeling. I said, "Hey, does this matter, or are we missing the point?" He's like, "Just get there, pal." That was our that was our exchange in prayer. Sorry to share such personal things.
I like it.
What?
So that was on June 28th. And then there's been three temples that have been announced for um, groundbreakings for later this year. So this is a good sign if you're worried about kind of the backlog because it means that these temples will be ready in about 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years.
Okay,
So it shows that the construction is happening, even though it's not as fast as the pace of announcing temples.
sure.
The first one that was announced was the Winchester, Virginia temple. This is kind of just out of the DC metro area. Robert M. Davies will be the one on August 9th to do the groundbreaking on this temple.
And
And
then we
then,
go. Now you've got a different order because Tampa's technically scheduled before
yeah,
Fairbanks.
this
You
is
just
just the
like
order
Fairbanks more?
that it was announced.
Ah,
Fairbanks, Alaska. This will be the most northern temple in the world now. On September 27th, Peter M. Johnson will be there to do the groundbreaking on this temple. This is kind of a smaller, one of those 10,000 square foot temples. Yeah, hopefully there's not snow by then.
well, and like in the recording of this, as we are meeting, I think there's supposed to be a tsunami that hits Alaska. So hopefully,
Well, Fairbanks is way in the interior of the state, so
so it'd have
there's
to be a
zero
big
chance of
tsunami.
tsunami.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm
And
impressed by
then,
your Fairbanks knowledge, which takes us to our last one, Tampa.
yeah, the Temple Florida Temple. Um, they're extra special. They got Neil L. Anderson to do this groundbreaking on August 23rd. This temple, it's been a little bit while coming. They had a site announced, and then they retracted that site and got a new site, which is like a law school. And they recently tore down that law school, and now I guess they're ready to start building the temple.
Uh, okay. Well, we got to break a lot more ground if we're going to keep up with all the temples that are being announced. I'll take it though.
For
That gets
sure.
us through, well, I don't know, August. We should still have several before the end of the year, I would anticipate.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, we'll see that.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Maybe we do the temple matron and president called, and then we take a break and come back and do the other stuff.
Yeah, this seemed a little early for me because this temple is still under construction. And but the Yorba Linda, California temple has now a president and a matron. They are Robert Wyatt Powell and Lisa Marie Spalding Powell. Were mission leaders in the Korea Busan mission recently. And then it's interesting, it says former uh, mission interim president.
Hmm.
So normally there's only an interim president if like the president or the spouse of the president passes away and then someone's called in to replace them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's from Linwood, California. She's from Los Angeles. And they currently reside in the Whittier, California stake in the Beverly Ward.
Interesting about the interim and other president. I had like 5 interim presidents.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We had no one died, but we had heart condition, and then we had the interim, and then the interim one who had to go and open up the MTC in Ghana. So he's like, I'm out. And then there was another guy who he was like the senior missionary that lived in Ohio that was the mission president for like 2 months because they were like, listen, we got nobody. Can you, instead of just being in charge of mileage, can you also take on this whole mission? He's like, sure, you bet. I mean, you
You
bet.
bet.
I don't know
There
what
we
I'm
go.
doing, but of course I'll do it. And then the mission presidents who ended up being the rest of the time, but pretty wild. They don't always have to die, is all I'm saying.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it can just be interim for other reasons. Okay, so then let's take a break. We come back. We've got the Shanghai Temple. It's not Hong Kong. We got the Salt Lake Temple update, the Maui Temple, Stockholm, Jacksonville, Reno, Washington, D.C. Cody still, geez, still talking about the Cody Temple. We'll come back and we'll do all of that in the second half of the Temple Ticker. The House of the Lord Hour, is that what we'd call it? I don't know. We'll come back. Let me take just a moment to tell you all about bestdjinutah.com. That is the website where you can learn all about me. Oh, sure, you probably feel like you know me, but you know me in the cultural hall sense. I have a DJ company, now 6 of us strong, great event hosts, MCs, and DJs that can be able to make whatever event you have coming up absolutely spectacular, and hope you will reach out to us. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Richie, I don't live in Utah. Would you travel? Absolutely, I would travel. Would they travel? Absolutely, they would travel. Whatever your event is, doesn't have to be a wedding or a community event. We can do all sorts of things. I can teach you line dancing. I can dance with you. We can do partner dancing. We can do all kinds of things, but we can't do any of it if you don't hit me up. You can go to bestdjinutah.com. You can fill out the form to get more information or get a quote, and then I will get right back to you. Find out why I'm so busy and why sometimes we don't get episodes of the Cultural Hall. It's all because of bestdjinutah.com. Here in the second half of the Temple Ticker, we continue the news of the temples of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we talk now about, not controversies necessarily, but newsy things that aren't necessarily groundbreakings or dedications. We talk construction updates. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, I was also just listening to your last episode. I just have to correct the record a little bit. I'm
Please,
sorry.
please, no, I'm glad that you do.
But she said that Shanghai used to be like a British colony, and then it was handed back to China.
Mhm.
That's actually Hong Kong. It's not
Okay.
Shanghai.
Okay.
So just to avoid the confusion, that the congregations that are being shut down in China are in mainland China, not in Hong Kong. So
Okay.
it appears that the church continues to operate freely. They have meeting houses, they have a temple operating in Hong Kong. But it looks like recently in the last month that the church has been kind of not being allowed to meet in person in mainland China. Traditionally, or I mean, traditionally the Chinese citizens and then the expatriate members meet separately in different congregations.
Mhm.
That's been happening for decades, but it looks like they put the kibosh on that. But it looks like some of them are still meeting online. So it's interesting that I guess online church is now kind of permanent there if
Well,
you're
and
in
there was
mainland
there was
China.
something that I read that said potentially the reason why it was shut down is because the expats were on the lease for the buildings where they were meeting, or like they were on the ownership. Like there was something that linked that to not just Chinese citizens. And so
Interesting.
it sort of like the rug sort of got completely pulled because there was that affiliation. So some speculation that potentially those individuals whom are, citizens of China can have a place to meet and can be able to meet like that. But then other people, they're like, nope, that's not what it is. They're putting it to bed for everybody in that. So I don't know.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I just wonder like what like the Shanghai temple announcement would that if that contributed anything. There was kind of pushback against Shanghai local leaders that when this temple was announced that they hadn't heard about this and that wasn't going to be allowed. And so it was kind of unclear what authority that the church was announcing this temple with. President Nelson called it like a small multi-purpose building. So I wonder if maybe they had already been operating or trying to construct something already.
Mm.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
just
don't.
interesting to know behind the scenes.
Yeah, it doesn't strike me as anything like the church took a misstep and then they were like, "All right, you're out of here." I think it was more of a collective, larger thing. At least that's the interpretation I get from
Certainly, yeah. And I
that
think
I've
in
read.
the past 5 years, China has been restricting free speech and trying to get a little bit tighter control on what the citizens can do there. So I'm
And
sure
the,
it's
and
part
the
of
other thing
that.
about that is, the people of Shanghai, when President Nelson was like, in Shanghai, they're like, I'm sorry, what? Does anyone know anything about this at all? Do we have like it almost seemed like the Russia of the Nelson administration, where it's like, yeah, we're going to do one in Russia. Where? I don't know. We'll make it happen. It's happening. We lump it
Yeah,
with
until
the other.
until the announcement is withdrawn on the official side of the church, then it's still in the plans. So
You're like, I take it.
The temple in Kiev took like 15 years to build from
Okay, all
announcement
right.
to dedication. So, anything could happen in the next decade.
All right. Listen, I'll follow your hope. I take my temple hope leads from you. I will also have hope that we can continue to do it. How about the Salt Lake Temple? I have hope that one day that will open again, maybe.
I mean, they say April 2027.
Yep.
So, yeah, we got another update basically saying that now in the final stages of the seismic upgrade, basically the whole weight of the temple is now resting on the base isolators. So that would, I guess, give me hope that if there was an earthquake, that those base isolators would be in operation. Um, and yeah, they're going forward on the interior of the temple. I like that these updates have like pictures of the interior
Hmm.
because in almost every other temple we never get any pictures of the construction happening inside, and
Hmm.
we only see the pictures during the open house. So I like that we've gotten a ton of photos. They're putting the tile into the baptismal fonts right now, into the baptistries, and working on that as well. And then you already talked about that the Joseph Smith Memorial Building opened. The biggest change I see in this building is in the lobby.
Hmm.
Instead of having like one big chandelier in the center of the room, they kind of have like four kind of chandeliers that are kind of a translucent color. I'm not sure whether I like it more or not, but it still looks
Jury is
nice.
still out. He's critical, everyone.
But it definitely rather than making your eye drawn towards the chandelier, it makes your eye drawn towards the stained glass on the ceiling.
Mm.
So it's just kind of a different focus, I guess, and obviously new furniture and everything. And the Nabu Cafe is now called the Restaurant, so we can go
Boo!
there.
Boo!
I'm
Because there's
sorry.
the roof and the garden, and it should be the Nauvoo Cafe. Come on, branding, church.
Well, the Nabu Cafe is the one on the ground floor,
Sure.
now called the Garden Restaurant. And I think, what did you say that what's the top floor
The
one
one on the
called?
roof is called the roof.
The rooftop or
It's
something like
called the
that?
Roof
Yeah,
Restaurant. Roof, the roof,
the roof.
the
Okay,
roof.
like
It's on fire. We don't need to water, let the mother burn.
it. Nice.
But the heartbreaking thing about the Roof Restaurant is now you can't go and just gorge yourself in the buffet. It's entrees. You have to order specific. We used to go there actually all the time. We used to have these grandchild dinners where all the grandchildren of a certain age were invited to be able to go to this, and it was special. You could go through the buffet and just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. Now we have to order when we go there.
Oof, that's too bad.
Yeah. I was hoping they'd turn it back into the Hotel Utah, but they didn't. They decided not to. Rooms and everything. I could go down and
That would
stay
be sweet.
downtown.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
why not? We've got a few more things. What else? Oh, the Maui Temple. We bought some land, cheap land in Hawaii.
Yeah. Kahului Hawaii Temple. 46 acres were bought for $20 million. I think that sounds like a good deal. This is one of those like biz journals, so I don't have the subscription, so I don't really know where that is. It'd be interesting to know where it is
It's in the northern part, I believe,
of the
kind of by
city.
the airport.
Okay,
And there's a
nice.
mall up that way. It's not in the part of let me make sure that I'm saying this right. Yeah, it is up by Kahului Bay. It is not by like where everything burned. That was over in Lahaina. That's over on the
Fine.
other
Yeah.
side of that. This is like the main, like when people fly in, you'll see that temple.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it was because they have a stake center there that has like a large plot of land. So I was thinking maybe the temple would go there, but I
Mhm.
guess they found another one. So maybe in a few weeks we'll see an official site announcement.
There is in that area, in that general area where they have purchased a couple of other like for the natives of Hawaii, like religious areas. That could very well be why they decided to purchase in that area.
Okay.
Uh, Interesting. That's cool. $20 million. Sure, let's do it. Spend it. Let's go. Cody, Wyoming. What is happening? Why can't this just be done?
You know, well, it seems like it is with the Supreme Court. On June 17th, the Supreme Court of Wyoming rejected the lawsuit based on a technicality, which I guess the lawsuit that was filed by the Preserve Recording Neighborhoods group had to be within 30 days of the administrative decision.
Mhm.
So sometimes when the court, if they don't want to decide on the merits of something, then they kind of choose a technicality to be like, well, we're not even going to comment on whether the zoning was right because it wasn't done in the first place in the 30-day time frame. So,
You did it in blue pen, and the form explicitly says black. That kind of thing. It really is. It seems like it's that.
well, yeah, it's just what the law, they have to follow all parts of the law. And so basically, if they can take the easy way out and say this wasn't done right, then they'll do it.
They should just write an executive order, and then they don't have to pay attention to the law. No, that that okay. Too soon. Too
Don't
soon.
tell the
Got it.
governor
How about
that.
how about Huntsville, Alabama? This seemed nice.
Yeah, a really quick decision from the zoning board. They recommended the temple with its 120-foot spire. This is the Madison. It's not in Huntsville, it's in Madison. And it seems like they liked it enough to just push it on through. So,
For now,
no big fight there. And then I guess the land kind of near the temple that the city is also voting to annex. So it appears like they kind of want to make that area part of the city. So I guess they're excited for it to be there.
they're like, anyone wants to come here? Perfect. Tell me yes, please. Yeah, let them build it. Let it. Come on, let's do it. Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville. Mormon church submits permit to build massive $27 million temple in Jacksonville. Um, Previously, the church bought this land for $7 million, and I guess the permit shows that it'll be about 27 to construct. Um, this is like the same size as like the one in Farmington and the one in Tampa. Though we've been seeing this design a lot, but I like that it is still unique looking on the outside. And so maybe we'll get a groundbreaking announcement soon for this one.
So if it's 27 million, I'm doing some quick math, and it's 18,000 square feet because you said it's like the Farmington one. That's $1,500 a square foot to build a temple. So Saratoga Springs, hold on, doing some math. Saratoga Springs, Utah temple. How many square feet do you know off the top of your head?
It's around 90.
Let's see. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. It is. Wait for it. Wait for it. I don't know. We'll say around nine. No, wait. 97,000 square feet. 97,836. Hold on. 97,836 times what did I say? 1,500.
1,500 square foot.
That's $146 million temple in Saratoga Springs. How about that?
Yeah, tracks, I would
Yeah,
say.
it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, and it could do a lot of other things, certainly. But I don't know that I'm blown away by the fact that we would spend that much on a temple. That goes, yeah, I think that's about right. That's what I see we would spend. How about, let's see, we've only got a couple more here. So Jacksonville, 27 million. Stockholm, here we go. This is the
Stockholm,
one that they
Sweden.
knocked down, and it was like it's like it looked like a ship had run into the to into like the wall, right? And
Yeah,
then
you have a good memory.
yeah,
This is one of three temples that are currently being completely demolished and reconstructed right now. Um, yeah.
pop quiz, everyone. What are the other two? Provo Rock Canyon
There
and Anchorage.
Anchorage, yeah. Although they haven't demolished the
God.
Anchorage one yet.
Oh,
They're currently building the replacement so that there's no disruption in temple work. And then once the replacement is finished, then the other one will be demolished. But they started with Sweden, they demolished it first, and then now they're rebuilding it. And now we're finally seeing that they're done with the basement excavation. They're building the walls and the sloped roof again. So it's going to look, pretty similar, but they're going to have a larger basement and a little bit larger place for, I think, endowment. So,
you know what's
yeah.
cool? Do you feel like how I just felt just a second ago when I knew the answer to the question I was going to ask? Do you feel like that
Amazing.
all the time? Is that how that feels to be the pharaoh? I felt good. I
To be the
like that.
pharaoh. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
I knew the answers to those questions that I was asking. All right. Okay. Stockholm, Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, Reno just having a minor renovation right now. They're doing some kind of minor exterior and interior work. They kind of demolished the stairs coming up to the temple, and yeah, it's gonna expected to be open on December 1st.
Hmm.
So occasionally, there are temples that close for kind of these temporary renovations. Right now, the Fresno temple's closed, and right now the San Antonio temple is temporarily closed as well. So those are the three temples that are not like closed for renovations, but for kind of like a minor work, I guess.
I want them to have like an escalator or a ramp, right? I know that's not why they're closing, but I think that'd be super cool to have it be like, hey, moving walkway, come on in.
Well, the Provo Temple used to have escalators on the inside.
I know. And they'll
I
never have
know.
them
They'll
again.
never have them again.
I drove by the Elko Temple on my way to California. I'm excited to go to that temple open house with you.
Oh
Couple
yeah, you
miles
saw it?
away still. Yeah. You know what that is? Right off the freeway.
I told you.
You know what else? It
What?
is the nicest thing in that town by far. That is the other thing.
No casinos that
But
are
no, there's some casinos, but they're not nice. They're old casinos. That's a gold mine town, silver mining town.
okay.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of growth you can tell in the last little while, and it's in kind of the nicer part of that town. But it is like, driving down the freeway. Oh my gosh, there's a temple right there. It's gone. It's
Yeah,
one of
right
those
next to the
temples.
golf course.
Yep, yep. Excited to drive out there. I know, Kurt. You've got the seat in the back middle. That's where we saved a seat for you. The Pharaoh gets shotgun, and
Nice.
you have to sit in the back in the middle. So then the Washington D.C. temple, Disneyland in Maryland. What is this about?
Yeah, InsideTheMagic.com somehow got a hold of this.
Okay.
But I guess there's a TikTok trend where someone passing by the freeway in Maryland, just outside of DC, said, first time living in DC, I didn't know Disneyland was here. And it has like a shot of temple above the tree line. So I guess people are now noticing the temple and maybe thinking that it's a Disney castle. So this is not unusual because in the 70s, people thought it was the Wizard of Oz castle.
Right.
So much so that in the bridge over the highway, someone wrote Surrender Dorothy on there.
Yes. I have always wanted, if I ever become like stupid rich,
Uh-huh.
just like dumb, like, hey, we're flying people to the moon because why not kind of rich, like become a part of someone's cabinet illegally and then like have a fight on social media, like that kind of just stupid rich. I want to
Uh-huh.
figure out a way to in skywriting above the LDS temple in Washington, D.C., have it say Surrender Dorothy. I would love that more than anything ever in my entire life. And then I'd just be like, I'm done. That's it. I have accomplished everything that I intended to do. I would even take, and I bet it's far more likely, a plane that has one of the banners behind it that says Surrender Dorothy. I would take that picture as well. So if someone that is a little rich wanted to do something like that, I would enjoy the heck out of that.
All right. I like it.
Done. We'll pool our money together. All right, so that's it. Is that it?
Yep.
Anything that we're
That's what I
holding in the
have.
wings, looking forward to, is coming up soon? Any of that kind of stuff?
I think because it's summer, a lot of those kind of approvals by the First Presidency for new temple designs are kind of on hold. So I wouldn't expect too many big news. The next thing that will happen is in August when we have some groundbreakings and yeah, basically in August a ton of groundbreakings. So get ready
Oh,
for that.
okay. All
And then
right.
Elko opens.
Open it up. Let's go. You know what Elko means?
I don't.
It means the co. Thank you. Thank you for
Okay.
laughing. That's the kind of humor that we'll get as we drive out there. Hey, you guys ever been to the Co? Why do you call it the Co? It's Elko. Forget it. We hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body.
Hope that if you're able to listen this week, that you'll be able to listen next week.
And then when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. In the meantime, go Tar Heels. Chris at Alpine Lakes Travel, Debbie Wanless, Chocolate Cake Bites Podcast, and the Tiger with a U will be saving a seat for you
On the back row.
of the
The
Cultural
Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat on the back row.